Breaking silence. Actor Derek Dixon files a landmark $260 million sexual assault lawsuit against media mogul Tyler Perry. 1. A landmark lawsuit emerges. Allegations against an entertainment titan. In a seismic event that has sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, actor Derek Dixon filed a monumental civil lawsuit in Los Angeles Superior Court in June 2025, seeking a staggering $260 million in punitive and compensatory damages from media mogul Tyler Perry. The complaint, a deeply detailed and disturbing document, accuses Perry, one of Hollywood's most powerful and influential figures, of engaging in a prolonged and predatory pattern of sexual harassment, sexual assault, professional retaliation, and the intentional infliction of severe emotional distress. The alleged misconduct is said to have occurred between 2019 and 2021, a period during which Dixon was under contract working on two of Perry's flagship BET series, Ruthless and the popular drama The Oval. According to the filing, the origins of this professional relationship began on a note of immense opportunity for Dixon. He alleges that Perry first took notice of him at the historic grand opening of Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta in October 2019, a star-studded event that marked Perry's ascension to a new echelon of industry power. Flattered by the attention, Dixon was soon offered a role on the series Ruthless and later saw his part on The Oval expanded, a career advancement he initially believed was based on his talent and work ethic. The lawsuit paints a picture of how this professional dynamic gradually morphed into something far more sinister and exploitative, alleging that Perry used his immense power as the creator, writer, director, and executive producer of these shows to create a situation of dependency and fear. 2. A chilling narrative, the alleged escalation from texts to physical assault. The lawsuit meticulously outlines a deeply troubling progression of behavior that Dixon claims evolved from inappropriate verbal communication to outright physical violation. The initial interactions, as described in the court documents, began with Perry allegedly sending Dixon a series of suggestive and sexually charged text messages. One message cited in the suit reportedly read, "What's it going to take for you to have guiltless sex?" A question that Dixon states made him feel intensely uncomfortable and uncertain about how to respond without jeopardizing his burgeoning career. The complaint alleges that these digital advances were merely a prelude to more brazen physical conduct. Dixon claims that the situation escalated during visits to Perry's private residences. In one particularly harrowing incident detailed in the lawsuit, Dixon alleges that after a work-related meeting at Perry's home, Perry climbed into the bed where Dixon was sleeping uninvited, began rubbing his thigh, and then forcibly attempted to remove his clothing while groping his buttocks. The court documents describe multiple similar incidents of unwanted physical contact, painting a pattern of alleged assault that Dixon felt powerless to stop due to the extreme power imbalance between a struggling actor and the singularly powerful man who controlled his employment and future in the industry. 3. A climate of fear, career coercion, and professional retaliation. Central to Dixon's lawsuit is the assertion that his entire professional existence became contingent upon his compliance with Perry's alleged advances. He describes an atmosphere of constant fear and psychological manipulation, where refusing or resisting Perry's behavior was implicitly and explicitly linked to the termination of his career. The lawsuit provides a specific and chilling example of this alleged coercion, the fate of his character, Dale, on The Oval. Dixon claims that after an instance where he resisted Perry's advances, his character was abruptly written to be shot on the show. He interpreted this dramatic plot development not as a creative decision, but as a veiled warning and a form of retaliation, a stark message that his character's survival, and by extension his own job security, were directly tied to his acquiescence. This alleged weaponization of creative control is presented as a key mechanism of power, designed to silence Dixon and force him to endure the harassment out of sheer economic necessity and fear of being blacklisted from the industry. Feeling trapped and with no safe avenue for recourse within Perry's self-contained production empire, Dixon reportedly sought help from the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EOC. However, after an investigation, the EOC reportedly issued a right to sue letter, indicating that while they may not have resolved the matter administratively, they were permitting him to pursue his claims in civil court. This legal step became the catalyst for the filing of this $260 million lawsuit. 4. The human cost, PTSD and professional sacrifice. The lawsuit goes beyond the legal allegations to detail the profound personal toll this experience has taken on Derek Dixon. He reports suffering from severe and diagnosed psychological conditions as a direct result of the alleged abuse, including post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, crippling anxiety, clinical depression, and physical manifestations of stress such as chronic stomach issues and debilitating insomnia. The complaint includes statements from medical professionals who have allegedly confirmed that these conditions are directly linked to the extreme stress and trauma stemming from the alleged harassment and assault. Furthermore, Dixon outlines the significant financial sacrifice he felt compelled to make to escape the situation. He estimates that his decision to ultimately resign from his role on the Oval, a move he describes as necessary for his mental and physical well-being, cost him approximately $400,000 in lost income and future earning potential. This combination of severe emotional trauma and substantial financial loss forms the basis for the massive damages sought in the lawsuit. 5. Breaking the silence, Dixon's first on-camera interview. In his first televised interview since the lawsuit was filed, which aired on ABC News Live and was excerpted on Good Morning America, Dixon spoke with visible emotion about the difficulty of coming forward against a figure of Tyler Perry's stature. "It's been hard. There's a lot of shame around it," he stated, articulating the complex feelings of self-blame and vulnerability that often prevent survivors of sexual assault from speaking out. He was clear, however, that his motivation extends far beyond personal compensation. "What justice would look like for me is making a change, a world where this doesn't happen again to another actor," Dixon told reporters. He positioned his lawsuit as a protective measure for others, aiming to deter powerful individuals in the entertainment industry from exploiting their positions and to challenge the systems that enable such behavior to persist in silence. His action is framed not as a personal vendetta, but as a necessary stand for accountability in an industry long criticized for protecting powerful abusers.